What if I told you that a family of 5 walked away from a devastating car crash that should have killed them all without a single scratch on their bodies? What you about to hear isn't just another survival story. It is something that will challenge everything you think you know about miracles, faith, and the unexplainable forces that sometimes intervene in our darkest moments. On a rainy Tuesday evening in November 2023, the Henderson family was driving home from their daughter's soccer tournament. David Henderson, his wife Sarah, and their 3 children, ages 8, 12, and 16, were traveling down Interstate 75 when their world changed forever. What happened next defies every law of physics, every medical explanation, and every rational thought you might have about car accidents. The first thing you need to understand about this story is the sheer impossibility of survival. At 11:47 p.m., their SUV hydroplaned on a patch of standing water. The vehicle spun out of control at 65 miles per hour, crossed the median, and collided head-on with an 18-wheeler truck carrying steel beams. The impact was so severe that first responders initially declared it a fatal accident scene before even approaching the vehicles. But here's where this story takes an extraordinary turn. When paramedic Jessica Martinez reached the mangled SUV, a vehicle so destroyed that the jaws of life couldn't even be used because there was nothing left to cut, she heard something that made her blood run cold. Singing. A family was singing hymns from inside what looked like a metal coffin. The rescue took 4 hours. Not because the family was trapped or injured, but because the emergency crews couldn't believe what they were witnessing. David Henderson later described feeling a presence in the car, the moment before impact. "It was like invisible hands wrapped around our entire vehicle," he said. "I felt this overwhelming sense of peace. And I just knew that we were going to be okay." Sarah Henderson's account is even more remarkable. She described seeing what she could only call angels surrounding their car during the crash. "They weren't like the angels you see in paintings," she explained. "They were massive, protective, and they seemed to absorb the impact that should have crushed us." Medical experts who examined the family afterward found not even a bruise, not a cut, not a single sign of trauma, despite the vehicle being compressed to half its original size. The truck driver, Michael Torres, a 20-year veteran of long-haul trucking, was shaken but uninjured. His account of the accident adds another layer of mystery to this story. "I saw their headlights coming straight at me, and I braced for the worst accident of my life," Torres recalled. "But at the moment of impact, something strange happened. It felt like my truck hit a cushion instead of another vehicle. The force that should have sent me flying barely moved my cab. The physics of this accident have baffled investigators." The Henderson's SUV absorbed an impact equivalent to hitting a brick wall at 130 miles per hour. Yet the family's survival wasn't just unlikely. It was impossible according to crash test data. Dr. Richard Palmer, a trauma specialist who has studied car accidents for over 30 years, stated that he has never seen anything like it. "The human body simply cannot withstand those forces," he said. "Something intervened in that crash that we cannot explain through medicine or science." But the most compelling part of this story isn't just the survival, it's what the family experienced during those terrifying seconds. All 5 family members described the same phenomenon. Time seemed to slow down. They felt surrounded by a warm presence, and they heard what sounded like a choir singing around them. 8-year-old Emma Henderson, the youngest, drew pictures afterward showing their car surrounded by what she called light people with wings. The investigation revealed even more puzzling details. The steel beams from the truck had scattered across the highway, yet none had penetrated the passenger compartment of the SUV. Skid marks showed the truck had somehow decelerated rapidly before impact, despite Torres insisting he never touched the brakes. Security cameras from a nearby gas station captured the accident, but the footage shows an inexplicable bright light surrounding both vehicles at the moment of collision. What makes this story even more extraordinary is the Henderson family's background. They had been going through the most difficult period of their lives. David had recently lost his job, Sarah was battling breast cancer, and they were facing foreclosure on their home. They had been praying together as a family every night, asking for strength to get through their trials. Their faith was being tested in every possible way, and then this happened. The aftermath of the accident brought unexpected blessings to the Henderson family. The story of their miraculous survival spread rapidly through their community and beyond. Donations poured in to help with Sarah's medical bills and their mortgage payments. David received multiple job offers, and Sarah's next medical scan showed that her cancer had inexplicably gone into remission. It was as if the same force that protected them in the crash had decided to heal their entire lives. This story forces us to confront some profound questions about the nature of reality, faith, and divine intervention. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, the evidence is undeniable. 5 people should have died that night, but they didn't. The Henderson family attributes their survival to their faith and the power of prayer. They believe that their guardian angels were literally present in that car, protecting them when human strength and technology failed. But perhaps the most important message from this incredible story isn't about miracles or divine intervention. It's about the power of faith during our darkest moments. The Henderson family's unwavering belief, even in the face of seemingly impossible circumstances, may have opened a door to something beyond our understanding. Their story reminds us that sometimes, when we're at our lowest point, when everything seems hopeless, something extraordinary can happen. In a world filled with tragedy and despair, stories like this one give us hope that we're not alone, that there are forces working in our favor that we may never fully comprehend. The Henderson family didn't just survive a car crash, they experienced what can only be described as a miracle that transformed not just their lives, but the lives of everyone who witnessed their story. So the next time you're facing impossible circumstances, remember the Henderson family. Remember that sometimes, faith isn't just about believing, it's about opening ourselves to possibilities beyond our understanding. Because in those moments when all hope seems lost, something miraculous might be waiting just around the corner. What do you think happened that night? Was it divine intervention, an unexplained scientific phenomenon, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If this story touched your heart or challenged your perspective, hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible true stories that will make you question everything you thought you knew about the world around us. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, because you never know when the next miracle story will drop.